fighting has stopped. The pressure is now on the Allied leaders to come to an agreement, preventing war from ever breaking out again. The world leaders converge on France to negotiate the terms of peace. The leaders gather in Paris, but one country not invited to the table is Germany.
Gentlemen, please sit down. If we can start by considering the points before we discuss any of the individual ideas.
Each country has its own agenda. France, fearful of a future attack, wants to completely defang Germany with crippling reparations. Britain wants milder terms for Germany, so it can act as a buffer between Britain and communist Russia.
I need all of the nations to come together in a united front, and I need your help.
Italy wants the territory it was promised for siding with the Allies. Japan also wants territory, but more importantly, it wants an equality clause to ensure equal standing on the world stage. President Wilson is also pushing an agenda.
Wilson's whole idea, if you do not want to see this horror show happen again, you'd better build an international system that restrains countries like Germany from doing terrible things that lead to a big war.
Wilson has arrived with a 14-point peace plan, the centerpiece of which is the creation of the League of Nations, an international governing body that would maintain peace around the world.
I think it is still possible.
Mr. President, I will give you the utmost.
When Wilson produced his 14 points, Clemenceau famously remarked, even the good Lord himself only produced 10. This belief of Wilson's that the United States and his own ambitions were somehow much loftier and more moral than anybody else's really stuck in their craw.
And here we are, but...
Negotiations for peace drag on for months. But right when an agreement seems possible, Wilson suddenly falls violently ill, forcing him to leave the country. Doctors soon learn he's been infected with the Spanish flu, a deadly pandemic that's already killed 50 million people worldwide. Without Wilson, negotiations quickly fall apart.
The foundation of any alliance is real respect and partnership. And my experience is that powers don't have to be of equal size to have a strong alliance, but they do have to be able to trust each other to come to each other's aid.
After 6 months of intense negotiations, the Allies finally have a treaty. But the final agreement is far from the equitable plan Wilson had hoped for. Italy doesn't get the territories they were promised when they joined the war, and they feel betrayed. Japan doesn't get its territories either. But worse, their anti-racist proposal to be recognized as an equal is overturned.
The equality clause is quashed by a perverse combination of resistance from within the British Empire, led by the Australians, and by the willing collaboration of the Wilson administration.
The Japanese left Versailles very bitter, saying everybody else seems to be allowed to have an empire, but not us. It sowed the seeds for this deep-rooted sense of Japanese grievance.
Europe is finally at peace. But while most of the world celebrates, Germany is ordered to pay the Allies over $80 billion, the modern equivalent of nearly $500 billion, a debt they won't pay off until 2010. As a result, the government quickly goes bankrupt, leaving millions of Germans impoverished. The economic devastation completely transforms the country and its people.
Germany immediately is struggling with a question of survival. For ordinary Germans, the war did not end in November 1918. For ordinary Germans, the battle for survival, the daily struggle for food, the effort to find shoes and clothing stretched on into the 1920s.
As the anger and starvation spread, tensions rise throughout the country.
Germany is in a state of near civil war. The left and the right are fighting each other in the streets. Paramilitary groups clash. Germany is a country divided against itself.
When World War I came to an end, this is not a treaty. This is an armistice that'll probably last 20 years. Meaning we have not really defeated the German spirit. We have not really solved this problem.